My mom had 8 kids, but if you've ever been in a big family, you know there's usually a favorite. In our house, it wasn't a secret. It was Luis. Luis was number 5 in the lineup, right in the middle. I'm Daniel, the second oldest, so I was old enough to watch it all happen in real time. It wasn't like Mom sat us down and said, "Luis is my favorite," but you didn't need to hear it out loud. You could see it in the way she looked at him, the way she talked to him, the way she let him get away with things the rest of us never could. When we were little, Luis was just the fun one. He'd make up silly games, get the younger kids laughing until their sides hurt. He was Mom's sweet boy. That's what she always called him. But by middle school, the sweet boy act started to fade. He was skipping classes, hanging around with older guys from the neighborhood, showing up with stuff I knew he didn't buy. The first time he got in trouble with the cops, he was 15. They caught him trying to lift a case of beer from the corner store. Mom bailed him out that same night and told us he just made a mistake. That became her favorite line. Meanwhile, the rest of us didn't have room for mistakes. Carmen, the oldest, was basically Mom's unpaid assistant, cooking, cleaning, keeping track of bills. I started working at a gas station at 15 to help out. Victor, right under me, got a job at the tire shop. If we messed up, we paid for it. If Luis messed up, it was the world's fault. By his early 20s, Luis had his first kid. We all thought, okay, this is it. He's going to grow up now. Then came the second kid, then the third. And while we were busy with our own families, Luis was still in and out of trouble. Some small, some serious. His kids saw more than they should have. They saw him miss birthdays. They saw him get pulled over right in front of their house. They saw him disappear for weeks and come back broke. And the wildest thing? They never called him Dad. Even as little kids, it was always just Luis. The kids would complain to Mom about it. I heard it myself once at a barbecue. His oldest told her, "Grandma, he doesn't care about us. He says he'll come and then he doesn't." Mom just patted his hand and said, "Your dad loves you. He just has a lot going on." It didn't matter what they said. She'd defend him until her last breath. The rest of us learned to keep our expectations low. Carmen kept her distance. She loved Mom but wouldn't stick around for the drama. Victor tried for years to save Luis, but it wore him down. Sofia, Mateo, and Ana, the youngest 3, grew up mostly ignoring him. Me? I floated in the middle. I'd help Mom when Luis got himself into something, but I didn't chase him. By the time Mom was in her 70s, nothing had changed. Luis was still bouncing between jobs, still leaning on Mom for a little help here and there, and she still bragged to her friends about what a good heart he had. I used to think maybe she saw something in him the rest of us didn't, but as the years went on, I realized she just saw what she wanted to see. When she passed last year, I thought maybe that would be the thing that finally broke the spell. That without her there to defend him, Luis would have to face himself. But deep down, I knew the truth. Some people never change, and some people will love them blindly, no matter what. Funerals have a weird energy. It's grief, mixed with awkward reunions, and just enough fake politeness to make your teeth hurt. Mom's was no different. The service was held at St. Mary's, the same church she dragged us all to as kids. Carmen had done most of the organizing. She knew Mom's favorite hymns, the flower arrangements she liked, even which cousins needed to be picked up. Luis hadn't done a damn thing. He arrived halfway through the first hymn, wearing a black shirt that looked expensive and sunglasses like he was walking into a nightclub. What got me was how everyone reacted when he walked in. Mom's friends from church lit up like the Pope himself had arrived. They whispered, they pointed, they rushed over to hug him. One even said, "Oh, Luis, your mama loved you so much." He nodded, soaking it in, like he hadn't shown up 25 minutes late to his own mother's funeral. Then I noticed his kids. They were sitting near the back with their mom, who, I should point out, didn't even come up to the casket. She kept her eyes down the whole time. The kids didn't look at him when he walked in. Not once. His youngest fiddled with her phone. His oldest stared straight ahead. The middle one just leaned back in his chair like he wanted to be anywhere else. When Luis finally walked over to them during the reception, it was awkward enough to make my skin crawl. "Hey, mija," he said to his oldest daughter, leaning in for a hug. She didn't move. Just said, "Hi, Luis." Not "Dad." Not, I missed you. Just Luis. His sons weren't any warmer. One gave him a quick handshake. The other mumbled something I couldn't hear and walked off. I'm not gonna lie. Part of me wanted him to feel that coldness. Maybe that's petty, but after years of watching him break promises, I couldn't help it. The service itself was fine. The priest talked about Mom's devotion to her family. My mind kept wandering. I thought about all the times she'd defended Luis, all the times she'd brushed off his mistakes like they were nothing. And still, here we were. Her favorite son, front row, acting like the grief was swallowing him whole. The rest of us scattered behind him, holding ourselves together without the performance. After the burial, we all went back to Mom's house for food. That's where things got tense. You pack 8 siblings into a small space with decades of unresolved crap, and it's only a matter of time before someone brings something up. For us, it was the will. The lawyer came by to read it out loud. The house, to be sold, with the money split evenly between all 8 of us. Mom's jewelry, to the girls, Carmen, Sophia, and Anna. Her car, to Luis. And a personal account with $25,000, also to Luis. Nobody said anything at first. Then Mateo, who's usually quiet, broke the silence. $25,000? Just for him? What the hell, man? Luis shrugged. She knew I needed it more. Carmen snapped. You always need it more. And you never do anything with it. Victor jumped in. You think Mom gave you that because you're responsible? She gave it to you because you've been her project your whole life. The whole room exploded after that. Sophia said she was tired of hearing about his potential. Anna started crying. Mateo brought up the time Mom sold her wedding ring to bail him out. Luis just kept eating, letting it all bounce off him. Finally, he said, say whatever you want. She loved me more. Not my fault. I didn't join in. I'd spent too many years fighting this battle to still think I could win it. As I left that night, I looked back at the house. The porch where Mom handed Luis $20 bills, the kitchen where she made his favorite meals even if nobody else liked them. I realized she hadn't just given him more in her will, she'd been giving him more his entire life. And we'd all been footing the bill in one way or another. The weeks after the funeral were quiet. Not peaceful quiet. More like everyone was avoiding each other quiet. Our family group text went dead except for Carmen sending out a thank you note draft for people who brought food or flowers. No one brought up the fight over the will, but we were all still stewing over it. The only one who seemed fine was Luis. About a month later, I ran into him at the gas station. He was filling up Mom's old Corolla. The passenger seat was stacked with bags from the mall. Sneakers, new clothes, a box that looked like it had a watch in it. You get all that with Mom's money? I asked, leaning against my truck. Luis smirked. She wanted me to enjoy it. Yeah? Pretty sure she didn't mean blow it in a month. He laughed like it was a joke, but it wasn't funny. That $25,000 could have done something real. Pay off debt, fix up the house before selling it, help his kids for once. Instead, it was melting away in fast food wrappers and brand name receipts. A week later, Carmen called me. We're done. She said flatly. With what? With him. The younger ones already blocked his number. Victor told him not to call unless it's an emergency. You should think about doing the same. I understood why. Luis was a black hole. Time, money, patience. Everything went in and nothing came out. But cutting him off, that felt final. I told myself I'd give it one more try. Not for him, but for me. So I wouldn't be wondering what if later. So I called him and said, meet me at Manny's diner tomorrow morning. We need to talk. When he showed up, he looked tired. Not hungover tired, but worn out tired. Like life had been chewing on him a bit. I didn't waste time. I gotta know, man. Why do you think Mom loved you more than the rest of us? He shrugged. Because I'm me. I stared at him. Be serious. He leaned back in the booth, thinking. Finally, he said, she didn't love me more because I was better. She loved me more because I was worse. I frowned. What the hell does that mean? It means you guys could handle yourselves. Carmen could take care of herself. You could. Victor could. The younger ones had all of you to watch out for them. I didn't have anybody but her. At least that's how she saw it. I didn't know what to say to that. Luis kept talking. She liked feeling like she could save me. Every time I screwed up, it was another chance for her to be the hero. You know she lived for that. It was messed up, but I couldn't argue with it. I'd seen it my whole life. Mom lighting up whenever she got to defend him, to tell the world he's just misunderstood. We finished our food mostly in silence. As we walked out, he said, "You think I don't know I messed up with my kids?" I do. But if Mom was still here, she'd tell me I could still fix it. And I believed her. For the first time, I felt something I hadn't felt for him in years. Not trust, not respect, just a little bit of pity. The house sale was the last piece of Mom's life we had to deal with. It was a small 2-bedroom in a worn-out neighborhood, but it had been ours for over 40 years. Every chipped tile, every squeaky floorboard, every dent in the hallway had a story. We listed it, and it sold fast. The market was hot, and even a fixer-upper like Mom's got snapped up by some young couple dreaming about restoring its charm. Carmen handled most of the paperwork. I helped clean it out. Sophia and Anna came by to take the jewelry Mom had left them. Victor stopped in for a couple of old tools from the shed. Luis? He only showed up on the last day, right before we handed over the keys. He walked through the empty rooms like he was seeing them for the first time. "This place feels smaller without her," he said quietly. I didn't answer. It wasn't the place that felt smaller. It was the family. We sat on the bare living room floor for a while. I decided to ask the question that had been sitting in my chest since the diner. "You ever think about apologizing to them, your kids?" He sighed. "Every day. But I don't know if it would matter." "It might," I said. "They deserve to hear it, even if it doesn't fix anything." A couple days later, I heard from Carmen that Luis had tried to talk to them. The oldest told him, "You can't just show up now and expect us to forget everything." The youngest didn't even answer the door. It was hard to feel bad for him. But I did. Just a little. Because I'd seen that same stubborn pride in Mom, that refusal to admit when the damage was too deep. When the sale money came in, we each got our share. No surprises this time. Just the equal split Mom had written in the will. I transferred mine straight into savings. I heard from a cousin that Luis had already blown through what was left of the $25,000 Mom left him. New rims for the Corolla, nights out, God knows what else. The last time I saw him was at a gas station again, almost a year after the funeral. He waved, I waved back. No conversation. I don't hate him. I don't even think I'm angry anymore. I just don't have anything left for him. Sometimes I wonder if Mom really believed all those years that Luis would change, or if she just needed to keep believing it because it made her feel useful. Either way, I've accepted it. She was blind when it came to him, and no matter how many times he let her down, she'd have defended him to her last breath. There are plenty of old fools in the world, and sometimes they're the people you love most. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed, please like, share, and subscribe for more content. If you want to share your stories, please comment below. Additionally, what is your opinion on the poster's decision?